Hi guys. Here we're going to be talking a little bit about geometry, how to use your PSSA geometry sheet, and how to find things like area and perimeter. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a refresher because you should know some of this, hopefully. But first I want to kind of start with three special types of quadrilaterals and understanding what these things mean. What are these different shapes? First of all, the term quadrilaterals is a term that means four-sided. Quad meaning four, and laterals meaning side, and it's four-sided figures. So we have a lot of different four-sided figures, like in this picture. We have rectangles and squares and parallelograms, and these are triangles, so they are not quadrilaterals, but these are trapezoids. So how to kind of distinguish between the three, because you're going to need to know when are you looking at a trapezoid, when are you looking at a rectangle, when are you looking at a parallelogram, and how do you find the areas of those things. So I'm going to kind of work backwards from rectangles or towards rectangles. So let's start with trapezoids. Most people picture trapezoids like this, and they're right, that is a trapezoid, but they don't have to be like that. I could have one that looks like this. That's a trapezoid. I could also make a trapezoid look like that, or I could even go where these are right angles, almost like a rectangle, but slanted on one side. You could have that any direction you wanted. So these are trapezoids. Now what makes them trapezoids? Well, trapezoids have one set, a set being two, one set of parallel sides. So this side and this side are parallel to each other, so that's why it's a trapezoid. The other two sides are not parallel to one another. Parallel meaning, remember, they never intersect. Even if they're extended forever, they'll never touch. These are parallel lines. So this and this is a set of parallel sides. These two are not parallel, so this is a trapezoid because only two of its sides, one set, is parallel. And even this one down here has two sides that are parallel. The top and the bottom, here they're the sides, and here they're the top and the bottom. But they're the parallel sides. No matter how you turn the figure, it has one set of parallel sides, and that's what makes it a trapezoid. Parallelograms are one step up. Parallelograms, people usually think of this. That would be a parallelogram. Could also have what's called a rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram, but it has all equal sides. Okay, it doesn't have to slant this way, it could slant the other way. That's a parallelogram. Could even be really skinny, like I could have one little side here and one little side up there. That's a parallelogram right there. Okay. So these are all parallelograms. What makes them parallelograms and not trapezoids is that unlike a trapezoid, which has one set of parallel sides, parallelograms have two sets of parallel sides. So for example, I could still say these are parallel, but these are also parallel. So you have the two sides are parallel and the other two sides are parallel. It has two sets of parallel sides. Same here, that's a set, and this is a set, and this is a set, and this is a set. And even on the skinny one, I have these ones, and I have these ones. So it has two sets of parallel sides. That's what makes it a parallelogram. That's why they call it a parallelogram, because it has a lot of parallel sides. Now rectangles you guys know. But what you may not know is that rectangles are parallelograms. Rectangles have two sets of parallel sides, right? Still have this and this. That's one set. And then I have this and this. That's the second set. So I have two sets of parallel sides. That's why rectangles are considered parallelograms, because they meet that requirement. They just have one more special function, which is these are right angles. So this symbol, which you may have seen, is the right angle symbol, meaning it forms a 90-degree angle or a perfect corner, right? Rectangles have 90-degree angles and they're parallelograms. That's what makes them. It's basically if I took a parallelogram and stood it up straight, then it would be a rectangle. Now trapezoids can also have a pair, like this one down here has a pair of right angles in it, but because this side isn't parallel to this side, it doesn't count as a rectangle. It's still a trapezoid because it has its two parallel sides. Another thing, the special rectangle, and people have this argument all the time about this, is square. A square is considered a rectangle because it has two sets of parallel sides and it has four right angles. The only extra boost that it gets is that all of its sides are equal. So it's kind of like a rhombus. It is a rhombus, but it's if I made it so the rhombus had all right angles instead of these little acute angles and these obtuse angles. It's all right. So you kind of need to know the difference between these two. You're kind of supposed to already know that, but this is a little refresher on the three special types of quadrilaterals. Not all quadrilaterals fall into these categories. Like I could draw a quadrilateral that look like this. This is a four-sided figure, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's not anything special. It's just a weird, what we call irregular quadrilateral. So that's your refresher on special types of quadrilaterals.